Hey everyone, MLS Director Richard Gibbens here. I just want to take some time today to go through ShowingTime and show you both how to request a showing and then also how to go through and update some of your settings, both for you on like a global level and then on a listing by listing level as well. So for starters, it's built into Flex here for you. So we have a listing pulled up here in Lynn Haven, and if you click either this little button right here or this button over here that says ShowingTime, that's going to bring you to where you can go in and request the showing. And what'll come up is this screen here. And has your name, your profile, your email, all that stuff on there. And you go right here to schedule a single showing. And when that comes up, it'll show you a calendar. So when you're looking at this calendar, this is kind of a mixture of the calendar for the property and then anything that you might have scheduled. So if you see black, that's where the property is not available to show. In this case, it's because this is all in the past. If it's in the gray, it's that they have it set up where they want at least a 1 hour notice before you go in and show it. But they will accommodate it if you set it up there. And then anything in the white means the home is just available for showing. Any other colors besides the black or gray, like if a blue or a green shows up, those are times that you have scheduled. So that way that you don't overlap them with other appointments you have going on at different properties. But all you have to do is just choose which time you want to show it. So let's say we want to show this house today at 2 o'clock. You click on that. It'll ask you what appointment type are you doing. Is it a showing, a second showing, a third showing, a virtual showing? We're just going to choose showing for now. We're starting at 2 o'clock. What's the latest you think you'll be there is going to be the end time. It defaults for 15 minutes, but you can set it longer if you think you're going to be there 30 minutes or an hour or so. And then finally, you have the buyer's name here. And you can click Add New and assign that and send it. Now, I want to mention the buyer's name is not sent to the listing agent. This is purely for your reference only. So you can or don't bother filling that out depending on how you feel. And if you do want to leave a note that's going to go to the listing representative, you can leave that here. Otherwise, you click on Request Appointment. And what will happen after that is it'll get sent off to the listing agent. And if they have the property set as go and show, you're going to get an immediate response back that you are approved and to just go show the home. If they have anything set up where they have to approve the appointments, then they will receive a text message and an email, and then they can click on yes or no. And then when they click yes, it'll send you approval to get to show the home. So very straightforward and simple to request those. And I mentioned a couple things like the go and show and all that, and I want to show everybody how you can set that up for yourself. So to get there, we're back in Flex again, and you click on Menu, and then right here under Products, you click on ShowingTime, right there at the bottom. And that will bring you to this screen. Now, if you've never been to the screen before, or if it's been a while since you've been in the screen, it'll actually pop up and it'll bug you and say, hey, your profile hasn't been updated in a while. Do you want to update that? And in that case, you just click yes or edit profile and it'll take you there. If it brings you to this screen, just click this edit profile button. It's going to bring you to the same place. So that brings you up to the profile screen. And this is where you can go through and set up your settings for ShowingTime. So first off, you want to make sure your name and phone number and everything is correct. At least one thing over here does have to be a mobile phone for you to receive text messages. So go ahead and select mobile phone over here for that. Otherwise, scroll down. You don't have to worry about login information because everything is a single sign-on for you through Flex, so that's one less password you have to remember. And then right here, this is your listing agent showing preferences. You see it says listing agent here and it says buyer's agent here. So depending on which one you're operating as, you're going to have different set of showings and showing time. So right here under listing agent, what this is this is setting your default settings. So if you add a brand new listing to the MLS, then it's automatically going to go on with these settings. And then you can go on a listing by listing basis, which I'll show you shortly, and change that. But this is what's going to be your default every time you add one. So just kind of go through it. You know, do you want to allow agents to request appointments online or not? Obviously, we want yes for that. Do you want to be able to request virtual appointments? So yes, do you want to do in-person and virtual only, or in-person appointments only? This was added thanks to the pandemic. So, you know, if your seller only wants just the realtor in the home and they have to, you know, send it virtually to their buyer to limit the number of people in the home, you can choose virtual appointments only, or you can allow both types. The default appointment mode, this is where, if the majority of the homes you show are just go and show homes, then you can actually choose go and show right here. And then every single time you add a listing, it's going to automatically be set on go and show. And then you never have to approve showing time appointments unless you set a listing to specifically require it. Otherwise, you can do appointment required, and then you have to approve all of them. Allow scheduling overlaps. Do you want to allow people to overlap times that they're in the home? So you can do no, where it's exclusive appointments only, which this is the default for everyone right now because of the pandemic, because obviously you don't want a bunch of people in the house at the same time. But if you want to turn that on, you do have the choice of let the showing agent know that they're overlapping, or just don't bother and let them find out when they get there. Next up, you have the notifications for when you get appointments on your listings. So the email and text message are pretty obvious. Push is if you have the ShowingTime app installed, which I'll show you how to do in a little bit. You'll get a little drop-down notification that you have a appointment request, and then you can approve it there. And then showing voice is that service that calls you. This one is turned on by default, and I've helped quite a few people go through and turn this off because I don't know about you guys, but I think everybody's a little sick of robocalls. We get enough of them anyways. So if you just turn that off, then you'll just receive it via email, text message, and push, or any combination of that you would like. And then finally, if an appointment is confirmed or canceled, how do you want to receive those? And then, do you want to receive feedback or not? And then how many times to resend the feedback, and the number of days between the times you send it. So that's all your settings for ShowingTime. Now, one more time to explain, this is your default settings. So every single listing you add will automatically have these settings unless you go in and change them individually, which I'll show you how to do that in a moment. Next up, we're going to go into buyer agent preferences. So this is when you're on the side where you are requesting an appointment. What are your default options there? So same thing, if you receive an appointment request, or you view an appointment request, or if an appointment is confirmed or canceled, how do you want to receive it? Again, call right here is one you might want to turn off. If there's a price change on a property you've shown before, do you want to receive an email about it? That's a pretty neat feature. Down here you have update notifications. Do you want to receive feedback requests from other agents? So, up here, the listing agent is saying, okay, how many times do you want to resend this request? If you don't want to receive those requests at all, you can uncheck them. Or if you only want to receive them via email and not via the app, or vice versa, you can check those. And one thing to notice, every time I've made a change, you see this little black bar drops down up here. Once you make any of these changes, you have to make sure you click on this Save Changes button. I want to make sure I mention that. Then down here, your default, remember when we pulled up the showing appointment and we set it for 2 o'clock, and by default it said the end was 2:15? Well, if your showings in general take 30 minutes, you can make it 30 minutes instead. And then that way you don't have to change that every time, or you can set that to whatever you want. Finally, down here at the bottom, I want to show you the mobile app access. If you have not installed the app yet, this is the easiest way to do it. So that way you don't have to worry about a login and a password and all that kind of stuff. What you do is you just click right here on the send authentication link, and it'll send a link to your email address. Once you have that, you can download the app either through the link that email sends you, or through your App Store or Play Store. Once you have the app installed, you'll go back to this email that it sent you and click on it, and it will automatically log you into the app. And then that way you never have to worry about logging in again. It's a single sign-on and you're done. So that's all the settings on this page. If anybody has any questions about that, you want to go over it on the phone or in person, just let us know. Especially the installing the app part. I know that's a fairly quick explanation that'll be easier to see on screen, but we're here for you if you need any help with that. So the last thing I want to show you is, so we have these default settings set, and we have it, where by default everything is going to be go and show. But then we have this one new listing that is going to be appointment only. So how do we set that? So over here on the left side, you click on Listing Setup, and that will bring you to this Listing Manager page. I actually need to go back a step here. It'll bring you to this page that shows all of your active listings. So you choose which listing you want to use it, and you click on the listing itself, and then it'll bring you to this page. So first off, for this home, if you want to turn off showings just for this particular home, you can hit no right there and hit save changes, and then showings won't be available for that home. Maybe you have a really picky buyer, or they have certain specifications they want for how showings are done, things like that. Again, here's your in-person versus virtual. You can choose both or either or. And then here's your appointment type. Do you want to require it on this home, or do you want to make it go and show? So recapping, this here, we are changing it for this specific property only now. So we're looking at 1309 Mississippi Avenue, and we're setting this up here. Right here under contacts, you can actually add the owner of the home. So in this particular case, we actually have Josh set as a listing agent on this listing, and then I am the owner occupant. And if the owner occupant wants to receive emails or text messages, if you set their phone number up as a mobile number, you can choose that on here. And then your seller can actually get notification of appointments. So they can either only be notified of confirmed or canceled, or you can even let them confirm them. If you want to check that right here, then your seller can confirm or deny appointments. One thing I want to point out too is it has this "How will this work?" button. So if you click on that, it'll tell you if an appointment is made in the listing, Josh Mata and Richard Gibbens will be sent an email requesting confirmation. And after the appointment is confirmed, Josh Mata and Richard Gibbens will be sent an email. So it tells you exactly what will happen. So let's turn this one off. Now it says, when an appointment is made, Josh Mata, and only Josh, because we turned off the confirmed appointments, will be sent an email requesting confirmation, and then who will be sent an email. So if you're not sure how your setup here is correct, you can click on the "How will this work?" and it gives you a text explanation of exactly what will happen. The other thing I want to show you on this page is the appointment restrictions. So this is where you can go in. By default, every home is wide open. But let me actually get rid of this one so I can show you how I add it. So first off, do you want to just not allow no same-day appointments at all? Everything has to be tomorrow or in the future. Or do you want to allow a lead time? So lead time, remember when we were looking back at that, where we were requesting their appointment showing, you had the black and the gray. The required sets your black. So if you say, I have to have at least a 1 hour notice before you're able to show the home. And then suggested is, say, 4 hours. So what that would do is it would have 1 hour of black and then 4 hours of suggested in order to set an appointment on the home. You can also set a maximum appointment length. So if you don't want anybody to be there longer than 30 minutes, you can choose that here. You can choose whether you want to allow overlapping appointments or not, like we did back on that default screen. And then finally, you have showing restrictions. So if you click on this, let's say your customer doesn't want anybody showing the house on Sundays. What you can do is right here, you can go to repeating restriction, starting this Sunday and ending October 25th. And on Sundays, you're not going to allow it. And then you're going to choose, is it only from 8 a.m. or is it only from 12 until 2, or is it going to be an all-day restriction? And then you have your reason is they want to be like Chick-fil-A. They're closed on Sundays. And hit save showing restriction, and it'll show up in here. I'll show you the reason, when it's set for, and how long it's set for. But you can also, if they don't want anybody showing it from 8 to 10 and only on Thursday the 27th, and then hit save because they're having a party. And hit save. I don't know who has a party at 8 o'clock in the morning, but we're rolling with it. And then it'll have that restriction on there for you. So if there's certain days and times, if there's repeating days and times that your seller doesn't want the home to be available, you can add those right here under the Add New Showing Restriction. Finally, down here in the bottom, there's a place you can put the showing instructions, which I think is kind of neat. And one of the nice things about this is if you click on this button that says Add from Predefined Notes, there's a bunch of boxes in here that are already filled out. And so you can say, the community has a gate code, there are pets in the garage, please leave the pets alone, and please sign in, and then hit add, and it'll add them all into the showing instructions there for you. You can also type in whatever you want if you have anything else there to show as well, and that will show up for them in their app and when they are requesting a showing. Otherwise, you hit save changes when you're done, and that's how you can set up the settings for a particular listing. So that's all I have for today. There is a lot more to ShowingTime. Like, you can actually go through over here under feedback, and you can set up your own feedback questions, things like that. There's also listing activity report and changes log, where you can go in and see how many people have accessed the home and when, and things like that. So lots of great information there. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us at the association. We'll be happy to walk you through it. This is a product that we are definitely very excited about and want to see a high participation number with, because the more people use this, the easier it's going to be on everybody. So again, have any questions, please reach out to us, 850-763-8078, or my email is mlsdirector@cpaor.org. Thank you all, and have a wonderful day.